Are we looking at the greatest snowcross racer of all time? Up next, Tucker Hibbert takes on an extreme track built on a drag strip in Chicago. Will the T-Train become the first racer to win a 10th title? Find out next on AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Race fans, welcome to Chicago, Illinois. Just down the road from that fantastic city is Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, the site for round 13 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram, the Hollywood Casino Snowcross, and that's presented by Hayes Performance Systems. Carly Applin, Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey, bringing you all the action of round 13. It's been a spectacular season so far. In fact, let's take a look back to Michigan and tell you how we got here.
It's the AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Ram Tough is one way to describe the track.
We're calling this the Talladega turn. It's the first time we're seeing this wide, sweeping, deep pitch turn on an ISOC track.
That's a little love nudge right there.
That might have been more than a little love nudge right there.
Points battle in Pro Light between Montana Jess, Jake Angove, and Elias Ischel is red hot. Take note that Montana Jess, the points leader, has not finished first in any race this season, proving the power of consistency.
And they're racing in Michigan. 15 slants into turn one.
On this day, the Rocket, Elias Ischel on a Skidoo, nailed a near-perfect race as a teenager from Norway inches closer to the lead.
Rocket Elias Ischel has won in Michigan.
Saturday night, and yet another record ISOC crowd. Elias Ischel is known for his edgy and somewhat dangerous racing style. The 17-year-old was the picture of cool confidence, running a smart race and capping a weekend sweep. It's been quite the season for Elias Ischel, and I'll tell you what, our top three in the points in Pro Light are with Carly Applin right now.
Battle in the Pro Light class is heating up. Daniel Benham, you currently sit third in points. Would you say this is one of the best seasons you've had so far, and you're chasing that number 2? It's just in your sight.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think this season is for sure the most fun season that I've had so far. And, you know, I've only been racing sleds for 3 years, and I'd say this is definitely one of my best seasons. I made leaps and bounds from last year, and it's just been a lot of fun battling with the guys, and hopefully I can come out at least top 2 in the points.
I know mentality goes into it, strategy goes into it, so what are you doing to reach that number 1?
Well, at this point, I'm pretty much just trying as hard as I can. Same I've been doing all season. Try not to think about it too much. When you think about it, it gets in your head, and then, I don't know, if it comes down to the last race or something, I'll look and see what I got to do. But just got to try as hard as I can, get as many points as I can.
You've been very vocal with saying you're okay with the season ending right now. You're holding that number 1 in points, but they're creeping up behind you.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's riding hard, and definitely it's starting to come down to the fast guys are definitely getting out front, and now it's just about consistency, who's going to be doing better. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm ready for it to be over like anyone would be, but it's definitely a fun season. I enjoy going out there and having a good time, so definitely.
Thank you, Carly. So here is a look at the top 5 in points right now in the Pro Light class, Mike.
Well, we just heard from him, Montana Jess, Jake Angove, Benham, Elias Ischel, who's on a run and, of course, has won both the races in Michigan. Max Kiefer. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out as we move into these last rounds of racing.
Yeah, interesting always. In the Pro Light standings, top 10 right there. John Stead, such a fast racer, all the way down in 10th as we head into the races here in Chicago. Let's take a look at what happened in the AMSOIL Pro Open class in Michigan. The big dogs were on fire. And they get together a little bit there.
Contact there.
They definitely had contact, and Hibbert into the lead on the outside. But here comes Ross Martin again.
Ross charging on the inside now. Watch this. Oh, Ross is going to try. Oh, what a
And he
move.
gives him a little bit back.
Yeah,
Ross Martin gives it back right at the top of the hill.
Rubbin's racing, buddy.
In the final, the Sweet of Speed, Peter Narsa quickly seized the lead.
And Peter Narsa gets the step.
But it was only a matter of time before the T-Train made his move. A packed house basked in the performance of vintage Tucker Hibbert as the master put on a racing seminar in Mount Pleasant. Can anyone derail the T-Train? Peter Narsa took a shot in the final, nabbing the stud boy hole shot.
Into the turn they go, and it's Narsa and Hibbert.
Fame is fleeting, and on lap 5, Tucker was simply Tucker.
That almost took Narsa for a ride.
We got a new leader.
Yeah.
Tucker Hibbert goes inside and
Taking the lead and showing the proper way to run a rough, grease-filled racetrack.
the flames in the air, and the win goes to the T-Train, Tucker Hibbert. Simply run out of things to say about Tucker Hibbert. Here's the point standings in AMSOIL Pro Open.
Yeah, you see he's got a 102-point lead. Is he too far ahead? He could still be caught, but I'll tell you what, he's got such a lead here. These guys are going to have to work hard for 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be some good battles in there for the top 5 places.
Well, speaking of good battles, we're about to see one. The first AMSOIL Pro Open qualifier is next. Let's get racing from Route 66 Raceway. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Ram. Guts, glory, Ram. By GoPro, be a hero. And by Arctic Cat, share our passion.
They know how to make pizza in Chicago, especially at Giordano's. Look at that. Welcome back to AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. How good does that look? Between the pizza and the racing, it's all happening just down the road from Chicago and Joliet, Illinois, Route 66 Raceway, the site for the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National presented by Hayes Performance Systems. Let's take a GoPro lap of the day around this fantastic racetrack. My name is Chris Hockey. Here's Mike Schroeder.
Short on snow, not as big as last year, but very challenging. The starting line to the back part of the racetrack. Watch them as they go through. This is so rhythmic through the back part. You can go double, double, triple, triple, but I'll tell you what, this thing's probably going to jump up and bite some people. Sharp turn through 3 and 4. There's the AMSOIL finish line. You go big on a double, then you've got another double, or some of these Pro Open drivers may even try to go triple here. That takes them back into a little kicker, back into turns 1 and 2. It's flat. You've seen how those skis turned. Tough turn. That's a GoPro lap of the day.
34 degrees, windy out there, and I'll tell you what, we're without some of our biggest superstars due to injury, Mike.
And some of them just injured recently. Cordy Cam, we know that he's out for the year. Cody Thompson, Logan Christian out for the season with that elbow injury. Did break a bone and hopefully is not going to have surgery, but going to let it heal. There you see the rest of them.
Let's look at the starting lineup for our Pro Open qualifier. Good lineup here.
It is a good lineup. You take and look, Ross Martin, Narsa, who's had a couple of good races coming back from his injury. Hibbert, Renheim, Kyle Pauline. Man, that's a stacked field.
It's in the starter's hands. When he tells them it's green, they all go. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Peter Narsa with the stud boy hole shot.
Well, you've seen as there were a couple of drivers, Ross Martin making a little contact with one of the drivers. You talked about transitioning onto the racetrack. That's where the difficulty ends. Look at Narsa. Narsa out front early on.
Flames in the sky for Peter Narsa on the 54. And where's Tucker Hibbert? Right now he's scored in 7th out of 8 sleds, all the way back in the back. Got pinched at the start. Up front, meanwhile, Peter Narsa and Corin Todd trying to run away and hide.
Ross Martin had a relatively good weekend, speaking because of the injury that he had last weekend. He's sitting right now in 3rd, and leaders Renheim, and like you said, Hibbert sitting in the back trying to work his way through the grid.
Martin got 2nd for a 2nd, and underneath them both
that is Renheim.
Goes Renheim, and he'll take 2nd as the battle was happening between Todd and Martin. They both go off the track right there in front of you. That's Ross Martin on the 837. Right beside him, that's Corin Todd. They were battling for 2nd and took each other out.
Well, I tell you, you've got to give each other a little racing room here, and that's not a good spot. They'll try to take and get that squared away.
Let's
Watch
take a look
here.
at the replay here.
So they're just rubbing on each other.
Yeah.
Ross had no place to go. He actually hits the pylon. Thank God for the you know, the foam that's around that.
Something got hooked up, whether they were hooked in the skis or something of that nature. They couldn't get apart from each other. Led right to running into the end pole right there.
You got to remember that these sleds are very open underneath, and if you get a ski in there, it is very hard to get them apart. Meanwhile, Peter Narsa, he enjoying a little bit of a lead, but Adam Renheim not giving him any space at all.
Look at this battle. The Jimmy John sleds looks underneath Peter Narsa as they hit the AMSOIL finish line with 8 laps to go. It's Narsa, it's Renheim, and here comes Tucker Hibbert in third. Andy Leaders in fourth and Andrew Carlson in fifth. The battle for the lead right now continues between Narsa on the 54 and Renheim on the 311.
Those guys working through the back part of the racetrack. Last time they had about a little over 3 seconds on Tucker Hibbert. It'll be interesting to see what Tucker does now that he's got some open sailing. Yellow still flying in that part of the racetrack. It's still Narsa, Renheim, and now Tucker shaving off over a second off that lead.
Tucker now in a spot where he's got nobody right immediately in front of him. All he's got to do is reel in second and then first. It's still Narsa. This rhythm section is gnarly, Mike, and it almost took Narsa out right there. And here comes Adam Renheim.
Yeah, Narsa had it going
Inside.
sideways. Look at Narsa trying to work underneath. Not quite close enough. Renheim tried to get a ski underneath, wasn't able to do so, but he's close enough now where he can try to do that in the next corner.
6 laps to go as they hit that AMSOIL finish line, and here comes the T-Train. Again, Renheim looks to the inside. They'll drag race down towards that Air Force flyaway and into the gnarly rhythm section. Here comes Renheim again.
And this time he didn't have a very good section in the back part of the racetrack, but I don't know if you've seen Tucker going into the far end into turns 1 and 2. He went way deep, had a real problem turning that sled. Not sure if he's got a little bit of a handling issue or what, but not very smooth for Tucker Hibbert last lap.
What we're seeing out of Tucker Hibbert right now is one of those races where he doesn't want to push himself too hard. He's sitting in third. He'd love to get a couple of more spots, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to put himself in danger. You see Tucker Hibbert right there, the 9-time champion, right now sitting in third, trying to reel in Adam Renheim in second.
He found that last week. He didn't qualify the best, but was able to take and make the win, a sweep in Michigan. He's 102 points ahead of this field. He's just got to be real consistent.
Tucker Hibbert right there again looks to the inside of the 311. Once again, that's the battle for second out of the FXR turn. Now over the Air Force flyaway and through that rhythm section. Tucker to the inside. He'll double. He gets that spot from Renheim. Renheim will look to try to look underneath him here. Can he get him?
He tried to, but Tucker just carried too much speed around the corner. Renheim not able to get around him, and now Tucker Hibbert about 3 seconds behind your race leader. Peter Narsa on the Hensch's Pertec Polaris, that 54 machine, and look at Tucker charging.
And Peter Narsa could really use this win. There's no doubt about it. Not only a heat race win, but a heat race win in front of Tucker Hibbert. It's been a rough year for the young man. He's got he's got a little more than 2 laps to go. As of right now, the 2 laps to go signal is out for Peter Narsa. Had some injuries early in the year when he was very fast. A win here with Tucker Hibbert in this race would be a huge confidence builder.
Tucker shaved off about 0.8 of a second. Now it's about 2.3 seconds. Narsa out in front. Hibbert still in second. Renheim in third. Then it's leaders Carlson, Pauline, Corn, Todd, Ross Martin out.
Very smooth section for Peter Narsa. Heads towards the AMSOIL finish line. White flag is in the air. One more lap for Peter Narsa. Can he do the impossible? Can he hold off Tucker Hibbert for one more lap? He's got to be fast and he's got to be smooth through this rhythm section, Mike.
Hibbert shaved off another 0.8 of a second. It's about 1.5 seconds now. The difference between Narsa and Hibbert. Peter's just got to be smooth here. Just find your spots. You hear the drivers talk about that. Hibbert's going to have to push as hard as he can.
Here comes Narsa. The checker's in the air, and he will do it. Peter Narsa will win this Pro Open qualifier in Chicago over Tucker Hibbert. Adam Renheim will hang on for third, and Andy Leaders in fourth. We'll go to break and come right back and talk to your winner. Peter Narsa takes Pro Open qualifier number 1. This is Route 66 Raceway in Chicago, Illinois. AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Peter Narsa with the stud boy old shock. At this battle, the Jimmy John sleds looks underneath Peter Narsa as they hit the AMSOIL finish line with 8 laps to go. Can he do the impossible? Can he hold off Tucker Hibbert for one more lap? He's got to be fast and he's got to be smooth through this rhythm section, Mike. Here comes Narsa. The checker's in the air, and he will do it. Peter Narsa will win this Pro Open qualifier in Chicago.
Congratulations, Peter, picking right where you left off in Michigan. What does it mean to start the weekend with a win?
Yeah, it feels good. We know for sure my riding was good, but we know that the sled was good too. The guys been working hard, and it feels good just to start off good.
Good luck in the final tonight.
Thank you.
Guys.
So the excitement started early here in Chicago. Great win for Peter Narsa, Mike.
Only his third round back after his injury, and especially if you can beat Tucker Hibbert in a qualifier, that's something to say. There you see the rest of the field, Renheim leaders. Tough break, though, for Ross Martin taking 8th after that incident in the race early on.
We'll get right back to the racing, but quickly, don't forget, keep up with us on social media at Snowcross, like Brian Eberle did. What a great shot right there. Let's see one more as well. Again, at Snowcross, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got. We want to see it. Route 66 Raceway put this great shot of Elias Ishoel crossing the AMSOIL finish line. Pro Open qualifier in the books. Up next, the Pro Light Final of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram from Route 66 Raceway in Chicago on the CBS Sports Network. It's our kind of town. That's Chicago. We're right down the road from there. Route 66 Raceway for round 13 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. The Hollywood Casino Snowcross National presented by Hayes Performance Systems. Carly Applin, Mike Schroeder. My name is Chris Hockey. Let's get to this Pro Light Final. Mike, here's your starting lineup.
Grid is awesome. Elias Ishoel, Benham, Jess, and Gove. Those are the top 4 in points. They qualify 1 through 4, and you can see the rest of the front row. They're pretty stout.
The back row comes through the LCQ. Look at these 5.
Muller Anderson, Shane Sewell coming off an injury. Blanchard and Turchanik, again, a good back row.
We're about to go green. Carly Applin's at the starting line.
Hey guys, talking about Elias Ishoel, currently sitting 4th in points. He's trying to make up points after sitting back in the pack because of an injury. The top 3 in points said he's great to have on the track because he's constantly pushing them. He's aggressive, he drives fast, but they also said sometimes it can make them nervous out there. Tonight, Elias is going to look for another first on the podium as he did in Michigan.
Thanks, Carly. He always brings the action. He always brings the speed. Can't wait to see what he brings to these 15 racers tonight.
I tell you what, he talks about people making people nervous. Look at where Elias lines up, and then he's got Montana Jess next to him, Daniel Benham next to him, Jake Angove next to him, all guys there top 4 in points.
To the very far right of your screen, that's Elias Ishoel on that black sled right there. All the big dogs of Pro Light on the starting line and ready to go green. The Pro Light Finals on the starting line. And they're racing in Chicago.
Who's got the hole shot? Look at Ishoel on the inside.
The stud boy hole shot goes to Elias Ishoel.
And Ty Fair working the outside. There's a driver we didn't talk about.
Into the turn they go, and Elias Ishoel loses the lead in the turn.
Oh, and he gets together.
Oh, and Ty Fair gets into the back of him. Somebody, Couture, I believe.
Couture, yes.
Hopefully Max is okay. But we've got a brand new leader. Montana Jess is your points leader, and he's your leader in Chicago.
Let's set them up as they come back through. There is Jess.
Let's take a look at that.
Here's what happened. He looked over his shoulder. He tried to come down. As he was turning, oof. It looks like Max may have just tapped him in the back. That sent him sideways, and then Couture ran into him. Tough break.
And let's set them up. It's Jess, it's Daniel Benham, it's Elias Ishoel, Jake Angove, and Michael George, your top 5. And the man on the point is your points leader, Mike.
We've talked about the fact that Montana Jess has not won a race yet this year, but it is out in front in points because of consistency.
And there's Ty Fair. They're going to look at him, make sure he's okay. Got hit in the back by a sled. Looks like he's all right physically.
So Jess out in front. 1.6 seconds between he and Benham, and then another second between Benham and Ishoel. Ishoel ran a 29.356.
Oh, look at the battle for second, Mike.
Oh, and a driver off in the back part again, but we'll go back up and watch our races.
Now that's the battle for second.
It is.
It's Benham in second, and Ishoel, as the yellow flag flies, in third.
And that's where the driver came off.
And that was Ty Fair again.
That was Ty Fair again.
Now Ishoel looks to the inside. They drag race over the AMSOIL finish line.
Oh, and Jake Angove got together with Ty Fair.
Ishoel, Benham racing, and Ishoel takes the spot. Another yellow flag. And Ishoel now up to second around Benham.
And there's action all over this racetrack.
And now Elias Ischel tries to reel in your leader, Montana Jess.
Let's watch them as they come across, set up an interval. Montana Jess with a 2.5-second lead over Elias Ischel.
There is your leader, Montana Jess. 2.5 seconds in front of the Rockets, and trying his best to keep it that way. Through the rhythm section on the backstretch, very smooth, Mike.
Just needs to be ahead of his game here. Find your lines, think of your spots, make sure that you hit your spots.
And there's second place. Over the Amsoil finish line with 8 laps to go. The lead is now 2 seconds, Mike.
As he cut off about a half second.
Look at that. He reeled him all the way in. Looks to the lead, does Ischel as they head down the backstretch.
We talked about him
Yellow
charging
flag
hard.
in the air. You can't pass right there.
Oh boy, that's a tough spot too, right in the middle, so they both got to go in the inside.
So now they're back under power, and Ischel will take the lead. But they're going to give the lead back to Jess.
Did you see?
I saw the Iceman.
He pointed the black flag at him. And I'll tell you what, he's lucky it was just a pointed flag, meaning fall back to your position because of the fact that you passed in a yellow.
And I think Elias was confused. He wasn't sure. That's why he didn't take off. Now he's back under power, and now the race begins again. So we'll set it. It's Jess, Ischel, Benham, 1, 2, 3, and Ischel looks to the inside. Now they're in heavy traffic, Mike. Over the Amsoil. Oh, no. He got a heavy point that time.
Yeah, he did. Because he only went back one spot, and I think that Iceman was telling him to go back further. That's what he was trying to tell him.
He's telling him to go back
two places.
spots.
2 places is which way he needed to go back.
So Ischel will drop back 2 spots for passing under a yellow flag.
That means he should go back to 4th place. So it should be Jess, Benham, and Angove. Let's watch what he does this time.
They're going to do it again. They're going to point at him again. He's got his hand in the air.
Back
what do I do?
2 places, he's telling him.
So he's got to go behind.
Well,
Angove.
he don't want to slow down. He wants telling those guys, pass me.
Where are you guys?
I
Come
want
on.
to keep my momentum going.
So there goes Benham into 2nd place.
Now Angove should get around him also.
5 laps to go.
He's got to let Angove by.
But he doesn't know it.
You know, and watch Iceman, watch him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do that, I mean, they could throw him a black flag unfurled, and that would be...
He has no idea who he needs to be behind right now. He really doesn't.
Here he goes. Oh, Iceman said thank you.
Oh,
so
okay,
apparently we're good then. We're good.
Jess, Ischel, Benham right now. That is your running order with Angove in 4th and Wallenstein up to 5th with 4 laps to go.
And wasn't that something? He let Benham go by, and then he was able to pass Benham again to get back into 2nd place. There's your race leader.
And he's got a solid, comfortable lead as he comes out of the rhythm section for just a second.
Oh, and he goes big there.
Because suddenly there's Ischel again.
Ischel right behind him. He
He's
went
angry.
big. Yeah, you know, we talked about racing patient, or there's a hot button he has.
Oh, no.
That hot button's been pushed about 5 times.
The rocket has lit the engine. He's got 3 laps to go. And 1 man in front of him. Ischel to the outside.
That's the line that he's liked on the back part of the racetrack.
This is when things get dangerous for Elias. He looks to the inside of the leader. Montana said, where'd you come from? They drag race towards the Amsoil finish line. 2 laps to go, Mike.
Look at him go from inside to outside here. He is looking and trying everything he can do right now to get around
Outside,
Montana
inside.
Jess.
Drag race. Montana Jess back on the gas. 1.5 laps to go in the Pro Light final. Elias adjusts his line to the inside, takes the move.
Got the run.
He got the lead. Can he keep it?
Oh, big time. What a move. That was a power move all the way through the corner.
1 lap to go for the Rocket. Through all the confusion, through the black flag, and through the field to the front. 1/2 of a lap to go for Elias Ischel.
Watch him through the back part of the racetrack here now. Just find your lines.
Into the final turn for the final time. Headed for the Amsoil finish line, the flames in the air. Elias Ischel has won in Chicago. Ishul with the win. Montana Jess comes across in second, and Jake Angove will hang on for third. That was an action-packed Pro Light final. And after this break, we'll talk to our winner. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. And they're racing in Chicago. 2.5 seconds in front of the Rockets. And trying his best to keep it that way. Looks to the lead, does Ishul as they head down the backstretch. He's got 3 laps to go. And 1 man in front of him. Ishul to the outside. He looks to the inside of the leader. Montana said, "Where'd you come from?" They drag race towards the AMSOIL finish line. 2 laps to go, Mike. Montana Jess back on the gas. 1.5 laps to go in the Pro Light final. He got the lead. Can he keep it?
Oh, big time. What a move. That was a power move all the way through the corner.
Headed for the AMSOIL finish line. The flames in the air. Elias Ishul has won in Chicago.
Congratulations, Elias. That was not an easy race for you. When you saw the black flag, it appeared you didn't even know how many spots to go back.
Yeah, I think I was clean because me and Montana came in the same, and I let him go a little bit, and I passed him in the corner. But yeah, I maybe took him a little bit on the yellow flag, I don't know. But I was going back, and they said 1 man, and I go back, and I passed him right away again, so that was maybe not enough. But yeah, they did it again, and I go back again, and yeah, I could take him again. And then Montana had like a little bit gap, and I just tried to push everything and get up to him. And the track is difficult to pass out there, and it's difficult to find good lines.
A very challenging race for you. Congratulations on the first.
Thank you.
So here's how they finished in an extremely exciting Pro Light final, Mike.
Still a little dizzy after watching everything that happened on the racetrack, but Elias Ishul, what a run for this young driver, taking the win.
Yeah, glad to see a 5th place for Shane Sewell. Here's your Pro Light point standings after that round. 17 years old from Norway, and another win in the books for Elias Ishul. That leads us to the Pro Open Final. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram from Route 66 Raceway on the CBS Sports Network. Stick around.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Polaris, Terrain Domination, by FXR, world-class outwear, and by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
The view from the 103rd floor of the Willis Tower of Chicago, Illinois. What a beautiful city. What a view. Welcome back to round 13 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram, the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National, presented by Hayes Performance Systems from Route 66 Raceway. Carly Applin, Mike Schroeder. My name is Chris Hockey. Been a great night of racing so far, and the big dogs are next. Speaking of big dogs, though, there's nobody bigger than the 9-time and defending champion, Tucker Hibbert. Let's get to know him a little better. He's a 9-time champ, zooming in on a perfect 10. Number 68 is number 1. A racer with a name like none other, Tucker Hibbert. Tucker to the inside. It's a drag race down the front stretch. Deadwood goes crazy. Who will win?
No, Tucker got the line.
And Tucker got the win by 1/100th of a second in Deadwood.
With any sport or anything in life, to be successful, you have to enjoy it. There's not one magic key to success in anything. For me, it's easy right now to put in the hard work and the time and do all the necessary things because I have such a great group of people surrounding me.
Tucker's extra edge may be a great family and support system, with Dad Kirk and wife Mandy backing him on and off the racetrack.
I get to spend almost every day with him, and we work together and we have a lot of fun at what we do, and I think it's somewhat of a rare situation, and I'm sure when I look back at it, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, I'll probably, realize how important and cool it was.
What can you say about Tucker Hibbert, Mike?
100 wins last year. He just keeps going. What has he got left in the tank? How long will he keep racing? How many wins will he have? Who knows? It's just fun to watch him.
Does he have one in the tank tonight here in Chicago? Here's your starting lineup for the AMSOIL Pro Open Final.
Tucker, your #1 qualifier. Then you see Tremblay, Narsa, Lemieux. This is a great front row. It'll be fun to watch. And Andrew Carlson, who won that LCQ, decides to go in the front row.
And here is your back row, the final 5 back there.
Jake Scott, Stenberg, Springer. Let's see what he can do. He had a good run in Michigan. That's the way they line up.
Let's get ready to go racing. Carly Applin is at the starting line. Carly?
Guys, your #1 and 2 qualifier, also your #1 and 2 in points. Tucker Hibbert, of course, holding that #1 spot. Tim Tremblay, 2nd in points. We talk a lot about how mentality is a huge factor for success out on the track. Spent some time in both Tucker Hibbert's and Tim Tremblay's trailers today. Both of them smiling, both of them relaxed, both of them very confident in their setup. We know Tucker Hibbert's going to look to continue his wins out here, consecutive wins, and look to clinch that championship a little bit early. Guys?
It's an interesting point, and I'll tell you what else makes this interesting, Mike. Look where Tucker Hibbert's going to be starting.
It is. He qualified 1, but because of the rule this year, they invert the way they line up on the line. So Tucker had last choice on the front row.
Round 13 about to begin. It's in the starter's hands. Racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Kyle Pauline got the step boy hold shot.
Boy, he found a great line, rocketed out, but look who's going with him. That is Ross Martin, who is on a mission.
Ross Martin out of nowhere to the lead over the Amsoil finish line, and he will take that first lap.
I told you that after he won that second round of qualifying, that lit a spark under him. It's the battle behind him. That's Corin Todd. Right behind him, Kyle Pauline. 3 Polarises up front.
And there's
Great
Tucker.
racing.
Tucker back in 7th. It's
place.
a traffic jam behind that man, the 837 out of Burlington, Wisconsin. That's Ross Martin. Corin Todd right on his tail right now. Kyle Pauline. They hit the Amsoil finish line. Let's set the field.
Let's set it. It's Ross Martin, Corin Todd. Now Tremblay able to move by Kyle Pauline, as does his teammate Lincoln Lemieux. So the Shearing Speed Sports Cadoos now running 3 and 4.
Todd to the inside. Can't make the move. Now he goes to the outside. It's Ross Martin and Corin Todd for the battle.
Ross, a veteran driver that has been racing in this Pro Open class a long, long time. A past champion. Very crafty at his skill here. Watching very closely and covering the lines that Corin Todd wants to take.
The laps continue to wind away. 17 to go. Now out of the corner. 16 to go for your leader. There's Tim Tremblay. The number 11 is in 3rd spot right now, Mike.
And his teammate only about a half a second behind him. Then Tucker Hibbert now has moved up to 5th place, and he's about 0.3 of a second behind Lincoln Lemieux.
We've seen him in worse spots, but right now Tucker Hibbert's got a lot of room to make up for this win. Right now, he's just thinking about making it around Tim Tremblay, who's been fast all night.
And the interesting thing is you watch this race develop, your race leader out front, Ross Martin, yet by about a second, is look at how these sleds are starting to get spread out. Even if you are out front and you start making passes and working your way forward, as Tucker now up in 3rd, you're going to run into lap traffic.
It didn't take him long. He went from 5th to 3rd in less than half of a straightaway. Right now it's Martin, it's Todd, it's Hibbert, it's Tremblay, it's Lemieux, and the battle's about to heat up. Here comes the T-Train.
T-Train, he has found some speed. He's only 0.7 of a second out of 2nd place. Corin Todd trying to watch what he's not only trying to charge hard on Ross Martin, but also trying to be defensive and not let Tucker Hibbert around him.
Over the Amsoil finish line with 14 laps to go. A great night so far for Ross Martin. Can he hold off Corin Todd? Can he hold off Tucker Hibbert?
There you see him down in that flat part of the racetrack, making the turn. There's Hibbert. Hibbert now still about 0.8 of a second out of 2nd place, and Ross Martin running a great race. Down here into the ram turn, he'll click off another lap.
What a great lap for Ross Martin. Again, it's Martin, Todd, and Hibbert with Tremblay in 4th and Lincoln Lemieux in 5th. The lead is a 2.5 for Ross Martin in Chicago.
Hibbert still in 3rd. Matter of fact, he lost a little ground that time. Ross Martin ran a 26.98, a great, great lap for him. He's about a 1.5 seconds ahead of Corin Todd. Hibbert in 3rd, then it's Tremblay. Ryan Springer now up to 5th.
Into lap traffic they go. Ross Martin over the Amsoil finish line again. 12 laps to go.
Hibbert made contact with Corin Todd. They bumped hard down in this corner. He is going to try to get around him.
Tucker Hibbert once again trying to be patient. He's got lots of laps left, and he's got 2 more spots for the win. But right now, Ross Martin is faster than anybody in that section of the racetrack.
There you see Tucker still in third, trying to find a line around Corin Todd. The differential between first and second still about 1.5 seconds. Tucker trying everything he can to try to get around Corin Todd. Not there. Here he comes again. Going to try to duck down underneath. Nothing showing.
The 9-time champion takes a roost in his face, and down the Air Force flyaway he goes. It's still Martin, it's still Todd, it's still Hibbert, and we've got 10 laps to go as they cross the stripe again. Into second goes Tucker Hibbert.
Yeah, he took a high line that time, was able to get around him. Now they got lappers out in front. Ross is hoping that he can get out and hide a little bit.
He cut the lead so much right there on that straightaway.
So let's watch them as they come back through the back part of the racetrack, down into the corner. We'll watch Ross Martin on the outside. But look at Tucker. Tucker just charging right behind him now.
Martin heads for the AMSOIL finish line.
0.6 of a second.
9 laps to go. The lead is still Martin, but here comes the T-Train. The 9-time champions has the lead in his sights right now out of the FXR turn. Let's go down to Carly Aplin by the racetrack. Carly.
Guys, watch these rhythm sections. Some of the riders are using a technique called preloading, where they press their weight into the suspension and it acts like a spring to give them maximum height over these jumps. Allows them to double or even triple and gain an advantage on the guys in front of them. Back to you.
And that explains some of the giant air we're seeing out of the T-Train, but Ross was able to get away from him a little bit right there.
He was. Tucker goes inside. That was a line that he suggested earlier that they built. It's 1.8 seconds now as Ross out in front. Ross ran a 27.23 to 28.41, so almost a second faster that last lap.
7 laps to go for Ross Martin. You could have thrown a bunch of names in a hat and said who was going to win this race tonight. Ross would have been one of the people you picked, but he might not have been at the top. And right now, he's holding off Tucker Hibbert. Can he do it for 6 more laps?
Well, they've got lappers they're going to have to get through. That's going to be an issue. Here comes Tucker again.
Heavy roost in his face right there.
Now, look at the traffic they got ahead of him, and they're almost bar to bar across the finish line.
It's a drag race. Big air. Hibbert outside.
Ross has got the line inside, though. Tucker knows that. Tucker checking up a bit. Now he's going to go.
Tucker's off his sled.
Oh,
what happened?
He's able to keep it running, though. That's huge.
How did he keep it running?
Well, he was able to hold on to the handlebar and did not pull his tether.
So Tucker back again on his sled, and he's still in second, I believe. We'll find out in a moment. Ross Martin. Now Corin Todd is actually back in second. Tremblay in third. Tucker in fourth
back in
right now.
fourth place.
He lost 2 spots. Let's take a look at what happened here, Mike.
Okay, so he comes in here. Oh, and he just kind of off camber when he landed, trying to edge around, but he was able to hold on to the sled. The sled stayed on its skis, so it didn't stall, and he was able to get back underway. There's your race leader.
A whole nother opportunity for your leader. It's Ross Martin with 4 laps to go here in Chicago, and he's got the lead. Into the turn he goes, and that's the break Ross Martin was looking for.
Lead of 3.4 seconds as they continue to count down laps. It's a very demanding racetrack, though. Anything can happen anywhere. You've just got to be consistent. Martin comes into the corner, rails again as he's done each and every lap. Comes across, 3 to go.
3 to go. It's Martin. It's Corin Todd across the AMSOIL finish line. It's still Tim Tremblay. And Lincoln Lemieux got around Tucker Hibbert.
Tucker Hibbert back a spot in fifth.
And there's Corin Todd continuing to battle up there with a lapper. That is John Stenberg. That's your second place rider. Behind him is Tim Tremblay.
Look at Ross. Got a couple of lappers ahead of him. One is Corey Watkinson.
Look at Lemieux and look at Tremblay. The battle for third right now as they try to reel in second place, which is Corin Todd. Martin is 6 seconds ahead right now.
Todd trying to, keep just edging and working hard to stay in second place. And, Lemieux right there. There's your leader again.
And there is third and fourth. We've got less than 2 laps to go, actually down to the white flag lap. And right now the field is as follows. Martin, Todd, and Tremblay, followed by Lemieux and Tucker Hibbert. There's Lemieux in 4th. As your leader goes by on the Air Force flyaway.
There he is, working the back part of the racetrack.
Into the ram turn for the final time.
Got one turn.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
The boss is back.
Ross Martin wins in Chicago. Ross Martin has done it. Corentano come across in 2nd, and Tim Tremblay will finish 3rd. Lincoln Lemieux in 4th, and Tucker Hibbert in 5th. Kyle Pauline will come across in 6th. Adam Renheim in 7th, Corey Watkinson 8th, Andrew Carlson 9th, and John Stenberg will round out the top 10. But my, oh my, Ross Martin got a huge win in Chicago. We'll talk to him after this on the CBS Sports Network. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go. And Kyle Pauline got the step boy hole shot. Can't make the move. Now he goes to the outside. It's Ross Martin and Corin Todd for the battle. 9 laps to go. The lead is still Martin, but here comes the T-Train. There goes Tucker.
Line.
It's a drag race. Big air. Hibbert outside.
Now he's going to go.
Oh, Tucker's off his sled.
Oh.
What happened?
He's able to keep it running, though. That's huge.
It doesn't get any
the
bigger than this.
The boss is back.
Ross Martin wins in Chicago.
You guys, it's really hard to pull Ross Martin away from the team right now. They are celebrating hard. Congratulations, Ross Martin. You dealt with injuries. You dealt with crashes even today in your heat race. What does it mean and what does it say about your team to come back after all of that and get first on the podium tonight?
Well, we definitely knew it was possible. It's just one of those things that just kept falling through our hands. You know, I was hurt pretty much the whole year, and as it dwindles down to a couple races left, it's kind of like, man, do I got this? Am I going to get up there? You know, you don't really doubt yourself, but you do a little bit, you know, especially every race that goes by, you don't win, and it just kind of drags on. And I don't know. I'd say my ankle felt pretty good that race, but no, I still feel it a little bit. And I just got to thank everyone for standing behind me. I kind of had a feeling this would be one of those seasons that went by without a win, but not anymore.
I have to know your first thought as you crossed that finish line. You saw those checkers. What was your first thought?
Well, I was just so pumped. You know, Tucker got up on me, and I wasn't going to let him go, so I just kind of checked up a little bit, and he landed on my hand a little bit and ripped the grip, but I could kind of see he somewhat fell off or something, and I just kind of had a grin, but no, it just it felt good, man. It was a super exciting race, and I don't know, there's definitely a little bit of doubt in the back of my mind, but in the end, I just knew I could do it. I put my mind towards it, and once I came out with pretty much the whole shot or right up there, I had clear vision, and it was over from there.
Congratulations to you and the whole team.
Thanks a lot.
Guys.
What a great race. That party's going to go on all night long with Ross Martin. What a great run for him, Mike.
And it was interesting to see people from every team going over high-fiving him. Good to see the boss back on the box. Corin Todd, a good run. Tim Tremblay, it was interesting to see those two get together at the end. But they moved on, and it's just a great, great finish for him.
So it's not quite wrapped up for Tucker Hibbert after 13 rounds.
It is not. We talked about that. It's going to go into Geneva, but, you know, it'll be interesting to see what he does in the next round, if he can take and put a little more distance between he and the rest of the group, or if he's going to take and be beat up a little bit after round 13.
One more round here in Chicago, then we go to the Nielsen Snowcross Grand Finale at Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And of course, you can always catch AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. Check it out right there, March 20th at 3 p.m. Eastern, a live show, the Nielsen Enterprises Grand Finale. Make sure you tune into that. Follow Snowcross at Snowcross on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you go for social media, we're right there. And don't forget, when it comes to the CBS Sports Network, you can always keep up with the scores, the highlights, and much more at cbssportsnetwork.com. For Carly Apple and Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey. Thanks for tuning in to AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram.